What is up, folks? I am back with testing some new mics. I'll put the link to that down below. But I'm going to talk today about just one very important thing. One very important thing. It's going to be a little less political, kind of. So the Olympics, Gojira, that was badass. That's one of the top 3 moments in music history, in my opinion. The whole production was just outstanding and stunning from top to bottom. What sucks is that your typical, uneducated Christians in quotations, jump in and talk about the drag race Last Supper. That was not the Last Supper. Look some shit up. It was not a satanic opening. That was Marie Antoinette. Look some shit up. Was it weird? Sure. But French culture is weird. It was not the Last Supper. It was not a slam on Christianity. Look shit up. Again, maybe a top 3 musical moment for me. Like, I got chills the whole performance. Like Gojira, Olympics, heavy metal, well done. Dude. It was a metal version of I can't remember the name of the song now, but it was from like Les Mis. It was spectacular. And people are bitching. The same people that post pictures of Donald Trump sitting at the Last Supper table with Jesus are offended at something that's not even the Last Supper. Can't make this shit up, folks. You really can't. Second talking point. Also, how cool was it that Gojira was performing in a castle, the same one that Marie Antoinette was supposedly imprisoned in? Come on. Rad as fuck. Next point. So Marvel, who I've kind of been off of the bandwagon for a while now, they just fucked shit up, like they blew their wad early with the Endgame and Infinity War stuff, and I admit that was epic. But they totally blew their wad. Now, granted, they did that like 10 years in, maybe, something like that. So I get it. You'd been doing this for a while, but seriously, like, you want to make money and you want to make movies for a long time. So why just blow your wad after 10 years? Why not wait till you're 20, you're 30? Like, those go by in a flash. We're 30 years removed from 90s movies that everyone still watches. It's okay to drag shit out for 30 plus years. That's cinema. That's filmmaking. That's the movie business. Like, we get sequels that are 30 and 40 years after originals. Drag the shit out. Don't blow your wad on Infinity War and Endgame and all that good stuff. Like, it's okay to drag it out. Seriously. So they blow their wad, and then most of the movies, honestly, just kind of suck after that. I have not really gotten into a Marvel movie in a big way at all. The multiverse fucked shit up. It kind of made everything explainable. So let me rephrase. It made bad writing easily explainable because they can explain it away. Oh, the multiverse. We fucked something up. Well, the multiverse. Yeah, the multiverse should have been integrated very slowly and over a long amount of time. They threw too much at the wall too quick. So then you've got like this whole, now don't get me wrong, there's still shit storylines Marvel related that I'd love to watch and enjoy, like the Doctor Doom shit, which is part of the announcement and part of this talking point. They had a bunch of Doctor Dooms up on stage, and they were revealing who's playing Doctor Doom in one of the new Avengers movies. And lo and behold, Doctor Doom unmasks, and it's Robert Downey Jr. Okay. So we go back to blowing our full load. We killed Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man. Too soon, honestly. We killed him. We can just bring him back in the multiverse. Ooh, as a villain now. Ooh, it'll tie into one of the Marvel storylines. Do you know how many Marvel storylines there are? Do you know how many twists and turns and shit that doesn't even make sense there are in the Marvel Universe? There is thousands. So again, since there are thousands, they can just say, multiverse. We fucked something up? No, we didn't. Multiverse. For one, I like Robert Downey Jr. as an actor. I don't know him as a person, but my God, he looked jubilant when he removed the mask and held his arms out and just really looked like he wanted all the praise. Don't get me wrong, he was the best part about Marvel. Still is the best part about Marvel. There is no better character, there's no better role, there is no better actor that fit a role so perfectly than Robert Downey Jr. He was great. There's no denying it. It doesn't matter if he's the popular kid. It doesn't matter if he's the Metallica of the thrash scene. He was the shit. And that's just what it is. But him coming back as Dr. Doom, one, desperate. Marvel's been suffering, critically destroyed. And you bring back Robert Downey Jr. How? The multiverse. I hate the fucking words, the multiverse. The multiverse. Like, it's too much. Do you know how much you have to pay attention just to be able to put any of the multiverse stuff together? All of it. You have to watch and listen and be aware of everything. I don't have that kind of time. I've got time for Star Wars. They're not throwing too much shit at me. I'm behind. I haven't even finished The Mandalorian, the last season of that. I haven't watched The Acolyte. I haven't watched Ahsoka. But I can do that. It's really just those two. I don't have to like dig through 17 movies and 4 TV series just to catch up. At this point, like when I even see something slightly interesting from Marvel, I'm like, multiverse. There's so much to catch up on. And I don't think I want to. I don't have that kind of time, and I don't think I want to. And I think that's really where they've super fucked up. They've thrown so much shit at the viewer that now we're behind. If we didn't just stay right on top of it, we're very behind. And I really have no intention to get back on top of it. Robert Downey Jr. is not enough, especially in a role from the multiverse. No, just stop. Like, I don't even give a fuck about Deadpool and Wolverine at this point. I'm probably not going to watch it until it comes out on Disney Plus. And then I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to watch it then. Because of a curmudgeon-y bastard who, honest to God, is just sick of Ryan fucking Reynolds. I love the Wrexham TV show. Love it. It's great. And I like Ryan Reynolds, but like, Ryan Reynolds is the same dude in every movie. He's like Vince Vaughn. And I have an appreciation for both of those guys. But, like, I would like to see Ryan Reynolds be a villain. That's who I want to see. Make him Dr. Doom. I'd be a little more game for that. If you want to bring back Robert Downey Jr., just do it and then explain it away with the multiverse. It's that easy. We'll see how Robert Downey Jr. does as Dr. Doom. By we, I mean you guys, probably not me. I'll just read about it, maybe, if an article jumps ahead right into my eye holes and says, watch me, please. Maybe I'll do it then. Otherwise, fuck it. It's over for me. Marvel's just toast. Too much, too fast, blew the wad, got nothing left in the sack. Just over for me. That's okay, though. Who's got the time to watch all this shit? Speaking of shit, J.D. Vance. I saved the most of the political shit for last. I had a realization. So, this dude, now there's text messages out between him and a trans friend in which he seems to care about affectionately. And he's bashing Trump and basically talking about how this shit can't go through. Things have got to change. And not the way they're changing currently, which he's helping to change. Gonna be honest, firmly expect Trump to lose. I wasn't hopeful before, but I wasn't hopeful in 2020. And I think there's just a lot more silent people against Trump than, there seem to be, because you can't hear the silent people. But I had a thought. Like everything that this J.D. Vance guy has said pre-2020 is so heavily against Trump that I'm like, how in the world could this guy have flipped the script to the extent in which he did? Because he flipped it, man. He's almost unbelievably MAGA. And that's where this comes in. I've thought for about the last year or so, and Vivek Ramaswamy made me think at first, as time goes on, at what point are we going to have a Republican politician that is not truly a Republican, and they merely pretend to be MAGA until they get power to sabotage MAGA? Vivek was that first guy that I thought maybe he's the one, because he is also on record as being a Democrat at some point in his life. And sometimes it just makes no sense for these people to be Republicans. But then they get rich. They get all businessy. Corporate tax cuts. Trump's good at those. They're like, more money with Trump. So I thought maybe at first, maybe Vivek is that first guy that's going to infiltrate the party only to be a saboteur. I don't think that was correct, but I think J.D. Vance might just be the saboteur. Don't get me wrong. I don't believe this with any conviction. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. But it would be the smart play for someone to infiltrate MAGA as MAGA just to hurt them. And J.D. Vance has done nothing so far but hurt MAGA. Every time he opens his mouth, voters are changing their minds. I know this, at least in my area. He's very hated. And I have literally talked to conservative friends who are not even going to go vote because of J.D. Vance. Is that what he wants? If he cares about someone dearly who is trans and is a friend of his, and if he hated Trump so much, his wife Usha obviously wouldn't be here if it weren't for immigration. She's not an immigrant, but I think her parents are. Don't quote me on that, I'm not sure. But everything kind of lines up to the point of like, is this guy literally acting MAGA to slowly siphon votes away from them, to slowly make people sit at home? And then when this election's over, assuming Kamala Harris wins, does J.D. Vance just smile and say nothing? That would be one hell of a chess move. Someone's going to do it. Someone's got to do it. And how easy would it be to infiltrate MAGA? All you have to do is get close to the Sons, which is what J.D. Vance did. He got close to Eric. He got close to Don Jr. Got them thinking they're all broy buddy. And then they convinced their dad to pick him as VP when he wanted Doug Burgum, who would not have caused conservatives to lose any votes. Literally any. MAGA conservatives, let me be clear. I really think J.D. Vance, there's a 50-50 there, that he had a plan and is putting it into effect. I hate to give him that much credit. Again, 50-50. It's a loose theory. Easy bug. But someone was going to do it, or is going to do it at some point. It's inevitable. Like, cops send undercover agents into situations where they can get more information or take someone down. Trojan horse. Simple infiltration. MAGA's a problem. How do you take care of it? You get someone on the inside. Take it all down. Could be Vance. May not be. Maybe someone else. But it's interesting nonetheless. Because literally every time he speaks, I'm like, is he trying to lose? Like, is he trying to lose? Because the ceiling is there with MAGA already. You've got who you've got you're probably not gaining anymore. I don't know what else you could do or say to gain people who haven't converted at this point. So really, all you can do is lose voters by saying outlandish shit and just slowly cherry picking certain demographics, certain groups, certain lifestyles, just like childless women. You didn't have to speak about that at all. Why did you speak about that? Like, I know that people talk about how, you know, the birth rate is declining and we need people to have children. Like, that's one of those talking points for some of the fucking kooks that are on like Turning Point USA and all that shit. It's like shit that doesn't really need to be discussed by a political person, someone running for office. It could just be unspoken. But instead, he speaks it. Childless cat ladies, knowing Taylor Swift is one, knowing there's a whole bunch more famous ones, knowing that there's a whole group you have yet to alienate completely, and he goes ahead and alienates them. Losing tens of thousands of votes in the process, I am sure, just from that one statement. Anybody with no kids is going to be, even if they're like conservative and was like, well, I'll never vote Democrat, so I guess I'm voting Trump. Then he says that, and they're like, you know what? Fuck these guys. Like, they're attacking me personally now. They didn't have to. They could have just shut up. But instead, they came after me specifically. And they're not done. We have months to go. What other group of people are they going to go after specifically? It's not about race and nationality at this point. It's about cherry picking people you shouldn't cherry pick. Like, next, is it going to be people that wear jeans versus skirts? Is it going to be tank tops versus blouses? Skins versus blouses? It's hard to tell. I don't know who it's going to be, but there's going to be more. Undoubtedly. JD Vance opens his mouth and it's something off the wall every time. They probably should replace him now, but I hope they don't. But even if they do, then what? Then they're showing just such massive weakness and terrible decision making that they lose more. I would love if JD Vance ends up being a saboteur. Would be great. And he's from Ohio. I'm from Ohio. I don't like the guy, one way or the other. But man, if he's a saboteur, I sure could try to like him. Whew, that'd be hard. He's weird. They're all weird. They don't like that either. Even Vivek. He's like, this whole they're weird thing is childish and petty. And from the party of the name calling, childish and petty. Interesting, Vivek. Interesting. He's not the saboteur. That dude's bought in. He got brainwashed. Hardcore. Not a chance that he's a saboteur. But JD Vance, I'm going to hold out hope. We'll see how the next couple months go. I'm going to update on it a little bit. Again, I can't wait till the political shit's over. I know some people, you know, every time I post a video, I lose a subscriber. But it's not about that. I mean, it's like, I'm not trying to grow this channel and do things with it. Just talking. Just voicing my opinion like everyone else in the fucking world on the internet these days. Because I can. And because sometimes it's fun. I mean, seriously, that's a great theory. A fun theory. JD Vance intentionally fucking up the party. Hope it's true. See you guys next time. Peace out.